Let's go for a cruise. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm pretty excited about today's video because today I'm going to show you the Florida property that I've been promising to show you and kind of go over the numbers a little bit on that. If you're new to the channel, this channel is really about me being a car enthusiast. That's my red Lamborghini that you saw me getting into, and I unfortunately had to take it to the shop to get them to check out a couple of things. But in the meantime, I got to check out all these beautiful cars. And by the way, at the end of the video, I've got two cars that are special treats. We'll get into that later. But here is the property in Florida. So my wife and I decided to make an acquisition of a house for the sole purpose of doing an Airbnb or Verbo or whatever we want to call it here. And this is the house. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a tour of the entire place. I also want to go over the numbers a little bit and what we project the revenue will be and a profit, if any. So this, what we're looking at right now is the master bedroom on the main floor. There is another master on the second floor, which we'll be seeing here in a little bit. But in the meantime, just check it out for a little bit. First of all, I need to admit that I'm going outside my comfort zone a little bit on doing a rental property. I know that, traditionally rental income is a little bit better than investments in the stock market or funds of various sorts. It's kind of outperformed the stock market in the last 80, 90 years. So it should be a good investment. However, my investments are a little bit different. I buy companies and operate the companies and sell them much like a private equity firm would be. So my return on my investment's a lot higher than real estate or stock markets. So typically I don't keep a ton of capital in either of those. I'm doing a lot of transactions that are business related instead. So this is my first venture in really doing a completely investment property. So we're going to have to kind of keep you guys posted as we experiment along with it for the revenues. But we just thought the house was so cute. So my wife did a really good job of furnishing it. We're very simple decoration. We like a clean look. It is a beach vibe. So we've done some things since I took this video a little bit more to make it a little bit more cozy. But we do like a simple, clean look. So we're pretty thrilled with how it turned out. So one of the reasons we bought this particular house is you can't really see in this video, but we back up to the amenities. So right behind this fence, they are building all the amenities, the pickleball court, the big life-size chess, the pool is back there. So that was a big perk for us. Also, the neighborhood has a harbor. So by the way, one of the biggest things about this place, and this is the second master that we're going into here, but one of the biggest things about this place that we love is the location. It's located right near Perdido Key Beach in Florida. And so we're on the other side of the bridge. So we're about a 5-minute drive from the beach front. But in our neighborhood, there is a little harbor that they're putting in with boat slips. So should we choose or decide to buy a boat down the road or maybe live in this house down the road, we can hop in a boat, cruise on over to a restaurant, enjoy a meal, maybe some cocktails, drive the boat home, and then pull right into our neighborhood and walk home. You can see the bayou, which I'm about to show right here. I'll zoom in here in a bit, but this leads out to the bay, which then of course obviously leads out to the ocean. Not that I would be taking too many trips out in the ocean, but the bay is nice and calm waters, and a lot of restaurants that can be accessed from the bay. So it was just a really perfect place. We love Perdido Key area in Florida, and that was a big selling point on this house. As far as beds and bedrooms, so it's a 4-bedroom place. We have 2 king size beds, 2 queens, and 2 fulls. So it should sleep 12 people, especially if there's kids involved. So 2 in each king, 2 in each queen, and then 2 in each full. So it worked out good. I think there's good potential revenue for families that come to the beach and need to house a lot of people. 2 en-suites, and then 1 guest bedroom for the 2 smaller bedrooms up here. So 3 full baths, and then a powder room downstairs. And by the way, this is not too far. This is in Crab Island. So it was a bit of a drive from Perdido Key, but there are some beautiful areas in Perdido Key, or if you go to the Alabama side, that you do not need to drive all the way out to Destin. This is kind of where we were here, but we loved it. So here's some footage of our beach again. And again, we just love this area. There's some prettier waters if you go to the Floribama area, but we just loved it. So what I'd like to do now is kind of go over the numbers a little bit. These next few pictures are just going to be pictures from like my neighborhood, like this dock, and just pictures from the area. But I want to go over the numbers here in a little bit. The house cost us $550,000, so the first thing that was on my agenda was to check the financials and the forecast to see if we could cover our costs. And from what I've researched, what people need to do first is to see if it makes sense financially in renting it out on a year-over-year basis or a month-to-month basis, because if the numbers don't work out there, then don't try to do an Airbnb or Vrbo rental just to get a little more revenue, because if you don't quite hit the revenue that you're hoping, then you can fall flat on your face, or even go negative if you have to revert it to a yearly rental. I then went online to search for some short-term rental revenue, I guess, gauge. There's some websites like AirDNA that can give you a good idea of what they think your rental will go for. But beyond that, I then started contacting some property management firms that had experience in the area. I pretty consistently got over $50,000 in revenue. In fact, up to $75,000 in revenue, which I really don't think will be the case. It'd be great to see that. But we are conservatively estimating that we will get about $55,000 in revenue. I also negotiated the management fee down to 17%. Now, I know there are some firms that you can probably get budget rates from. In fact, some ways of getting 10%, 15% is a little bit more common. But to us, it was very important that we felt comfortable with the management company, and so a few percent didn't make or break our decision. We just really wanted to be comfortable with the folks that we were partnering with. So all in, after putting about 20% down, we figured that our mortgage rate's going to be a little over $2,800, which includes HOA fees, property taxes, things of that sort. Now, this does not include things like water bill, trash bill, electric bill, and things of that sort. But, if we had to rent it out on its own, we could get from around $3,000 to maybe $3,200 on a monthly basis if we were doing non-short-term rental. So the numbers relatively worked out from that standpoint. By the way, I don't think I've expressed enough how much we love the area. All those previous photos of food, the food is amazing. The music scene in our area is superb. I mean, they're known for their music. So it's like we can find a restaurant every night of the week that has live music. I don't care if it's lunchtime, breakfast time, or dinner. There's always something going on in our area. But where we're at, we're in a very quiet area. So if we want that quietness, we can just kind of stay low key by our beach, or drive the 12 minutes into a more busy area with all the restaurants and all the hustle and bustle. So we are in love with our area. And that's one of the reasons why we also wanted to buy a short-term rental, so that we can enjoy it really whenever we want. The revenue is just going to mitigate any extra cost of having a second home. Not that we plan on overly using it. We definitely want to use this more of an investment, but we do want to go out there a couple times a year and enjoy the house. Well, folks, that pretty much summarizes our little adventure into trying a short-term rental for an investment. I'm going to keep you guys posted to see how our first season goes because the busy season is in the summer. But as promised, look at this Senna. I've got a Senna and a P1 because I took my Lamborghini in the other day for service. I've got some weird noises it's making. I can make another video about that later, but oh my gosh, this Senna, I mean, the P1's beautiful. It's expensive. Both of these are very expensive, but I think for the money over the two, I'm taking the Senna. I think it's a more gorgeous vehicle for less of a price, but these are absolute unicorn cars. This P1 is a 1 of 10. And it's just amazing. So thanks for joining. Thanks for checking out the channel. Like I said, this channel mainly focuses on two things: business and cars. Those are two of my passions. I will throw footage of my family in here once in a while because that's also a passion of mine. But it's a hobby of mine, both vehicles and business acquisitions. So if you're interested in those two things, go ahead and give me a like, give me a subscribe, comment below. It keeps me going. I'm not here to make a bunch of money. I'm really here just to help you guys with any questions that you have on your path. And I also want to learn from you guys. So I'd love for you to become a part of my community and join the fam. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And thanks again for stopping by.